Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today I just wanted to make a really quick video about this thing that's been all over the internet for the last like 12 hours. This is all that Twitter has had to talk about regarding Star Wars. This is currently the big thing that's happening, I guess, until, I don't know, a day or two from now when another thing happens and everyone's forgotten about this. So anyways, Disney asks for Slave One rename to Boba Fett's Starship. So you've probably seen this all over Twitter, all over YouTube, and of course the usual again, the usual YouTube grifters are kind of spamming this to be some kind of culture war, political, like, oh my god, the SJWs are at it again kind of thing. But let's look at what's actually happening now, okay? During LEGO Fan Media Days last month, Captain Rex101 from Brisket.com asked the LEGO Star Wars team Jens Kronvold Fredrickson, LEGO Star Wars design director, and Michael Lee Stockwell, LEGO Star Wars lead designer, about the name change as they showed us the set for the first time. And this is what they told us. Then this next one, also from The Mandalorian, is Boba Fett's Starship. Yes, I built another. We're not calling it Slave One anymore. This is Boba Fett's Starship. Okay, why are we dropping the Slave One name? Everyone is. It's probably not something which has been announced publicly, but it is just something that Disney want us to use anymore, or doesn't want us to use anymore. And that's it. That's the entirety of it. The thing. The big kerfuffle is over this. This is literally the whole thing. So if you see someone out there saying that like Disney came out and has canonically slashed this or is changing Star Wars forever or something like that, maybe slow down for a second, because literally this one little interaction is all that we have. So basically one of the designers from LEGO has come out and said that it is everybody is. It's probably not something which has been announced publicly, but it is just something that Disney doesn't want to use anymore. And as you can see, the brand new not Slave One Boba Fett's Starship, if you look really closely, it says Boba Fett's Starship right here. It does not say Slave One all over the top or anything like that. Now, my immediate reaction, okay, was just the question. I'm wondering, is this just a merchandising thing? Because, Disney only told this to the LEGO people. Or is this like an in-universe actual canonical change to the Star Wars universe? Like, are they actually gonna come out and say that Slave One is no longer the name of the ship? Now, much more likely what it probably is just merchandising. That seems like the logical choice, because when he says okay, so we're dropping the Slave One name, and then he says everybody is, what he means by everybody, I'm assuming, is he means Hasbro, he means all the t-shirts marketing companies, because let's face it, guys, at the end of this year, Boba Fett and his ship are going to be featured in a lot of merchandise. Okay, they're going to be everywhere, on shirts, on lunch boxes, on I don't know, chips, on soda cans. They're going to be everywhere. Okay, the Legos and the Black Series figures, if they make those, and pretty much anything else you can imagine that they would slap his name and his ship on, it's going to be everywhere, right? And so preemptively, Disney's like, hey, the name of his ship is Slave One. And look, let's face it, in these times, it is smart. It is just smart to, like, if you can preemptively kind of see something that might potentially be an issue in the future, even if no one's really having an issue with it now, seemingly, it's probably a smart move if you're a company to say, if we can avoid that, if we can not put that on the t-shirt, if we can not put that on the Lego box, if we can just call it something more vague and generic, like, okay, it's his spaceship, like, if we don't have to use the word slave, maybe we don't have to, Now, I do not believe that this is a canonical thing. In fact, if you go on the Star Wars actual website, the entry for Slave One is still there, all caps. It's called Slave One. That is the name of the ship. And to be honest with you guys, until this changes on the actual StarWars.com, I'm not worried about it being like a canonical change anyways. It's still official, it's still on the website, it's called that. That is its name. So as far as I'm aware, this is literally only for, selling children's toys in the year 2021. They don't want to have a big word say slave on it in 2021. And honestly, that makes sense. It just makes sense, right? Like, name a single other thing that's a little child's toy in this modern day that has a big word say slave something on it, right? Like, it's probably just an issue that like the marketing team over at Disney was like, hey, it's probably just, it might be an issue later, let's just avoid it, let's just not do that. The toy itself does not change, the design does not change, and as a lot of people have pointed out, neither in The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, his name is that name of that ship is never said. In fact, I want to say that it's never actually been said in the Clone Wars either, or in Attack of the Clones, or in The Mandalorian. In fact, I think the name of that ship, and I might be wrong here, I think the name of that ship has only ever been said in novels and comics and video games. Basically, it has not. The name Slave One does not have as wide of a known name as Boba Fett does. Because at least Boba Fett's name was uttered a couple times. Boba Fett where? So at least his name was said, but the name of the ship I don't think has ever been said in the movies or in the TV shows. So it's not really a big thing. So like I said, I don't think that they're actually changing it. It's still on the website. And even if they did, even if they came out tomorrow and said like, no, if for real, we're changing the name, it's not the Slave One anymore, in canon, in universe, the characters in the show will not call it that, it's really not a big deal. It doesn't change anything about it. It's still Boba Fett, it's still the exact same ship, they literally just called it something else. And look, a lot of people are going to be upset about this kind of stuff because like, it's been called that forever, and then this or that. Look, I'm sorry, but a lot of us who are complaining about this, a lot of the people I've seen on Twitter and on YouTube, we're grown adults and we're angry about a fictional spaceship being called something different than it was 30 years ago. Sorry, I don't know. I'm sure we've got something else to be angry about, right? I don't know. It's silly. It's a silly thing to be this upset about. I look at the tweet once, I say, I wonder if it's this or that, but everyone else has been like fixated on it all day, and it's kind of funny, really. Anyways, so like I said, I think it's literally just because the Boba Fett TV show is coming out and they're gonna have this ship everywhere, and they don't want to have in big words, slave all over their merchandise, and they're like, yeah, if we can avoid that, let's avoid that. I think it's just for merchandise. I don't think it's actually changing. But even if it did, so what? They've never, like, you know what I mean? Like, they can easily just say, oh, he changed it to Jango's Legacy or the Jango or something. I don't know, something dumb. And then there you go. It's like, okay, he changed the name. Like what? There you go. And I know a lot of other people on YouTube and Twitter are gonna, like I said, make this out to be this big culture war thing where the SJWs and the cancel culture are doing this and that. Look, this is nothing more than a major corporation trying to prevent any possible PR issue in the future. This is not something being canceled by Twitter or something like that. Like I said, I'm not aware of anyone who actually had a problem with this, but if I'm a major corporation in the year 2021, I'm going to be like, it's got the word slave. We don't need to put that on the box, right? We can put something else on the box. Like that's a pretty obvious thing to try and avoid, if you're trying to avoid those PR situations in the future. So this is just a preventative measure. That's all it is. Anyways, yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's really not. And like I said, it's still here. It's right there. You know what it's called. The Star Wars website still knows what it's called. you know, the 5-year-old who is gonna see it on the Boba Fett show and want to buy the Lego, maybe they don't need to know that it's called the Slave. You know, like they don't need to know that, right? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Is this actually some huge deal and I am underplaying it and it's about the culture war and the SJWs, or maybe it's just a company trying to avoid future things because, you know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.